In central California, many small ranches sit in the hollows of the skirts of the Coast Range Mountains. Some the remnants of old and gradually disintegrating homesteads. Some the remains of Spanish grants. To one of them in the foothills to the west of Salinas Valley, the dawn comes, as it comes to 1,000 others.
Steady, Rosie. Steady now. You'll drop a fine colt.
Remember your ears, Tommy. You're not clean just because you're wet. Go on. Sit down, Fred. I'll do that.
Morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Billy.
Well, we sure got a good day for it, Mr. Tiflin.
Sit down, Billy. Got the cows ready to go?
In the lower corral. And I could just as well take them in alone.
Sure you could. You could take the auction in alone, too. But a man needs company, and I'd rather you had mine than the kind you pick up in town. Besides, your throat gets pretty dry. We'll start right after breakfast.
May I go, sir? I gotta take this to Billy.
Is that boy doing his schoolwork the way he should?
He's growing up the way he should.
Is he? He spends too much time with Billy Buck.
That won't hurt him. Billy's making a good rancher out of him.
There's more to life than ranching.
You'll have to convince Tom of that.
And you. And your father.
Can I help you any with the horses? Can I hold them for you?
What's the matter with tying them up to the corral fence like I always do? All right, maybe you can help me, son.
Billy? Billy, would you lend me the clipping?
What do you want it for?
Well, I told the kids how Rosie won the stock horse finals in Sacramento, and they just laughed. Jinx Ingalls laughed first.
But I've got the clipping to prove it.
They said they didn't see the clipping.
You just come with me.
Who's that lady?
No, that's my cousin.
Who's she?
She's my cousin, too.
I thought you said she was your cousin.
Well, we're a big family. Now they'll believe it. Gotta believe you got both of them. Now, you take care of this clipping. Don't go opening and closing it too much. Wear it out. You kids stand on your heads and walk around on your hands and knees too much. There.
Alice.
I'm up here, Fred, in Father's room.
This button's off.
In a minute. Let it be, Fred. You know he can tell when anything's touched. He'll probably be in today.
I guess I've had as much rest as I can expect. It's a good 2 weeks since I've had to listen to those stories of his.
He's an old man. He talks about the things he remembers best. You talk yourself sometimes.
Sure I do, but he only talks about one thing.
Indians. Indians and crossing the plains. That's what.
You get out of here, Mr. Big Britches. Go on now, it's time you started to school.
Goodbye, Billy! Come on, Chip. Did you get it? Did I get what? The clipping. Sure, it and the ribbon, too. Well, let's see it if you've got it. Well, let's see it. You promised let me see it. How about it?
Yeah, how about letting us see it?
Where's the clipping?
Let's see it.
I don't think he's really got it. All right. I'll show it to you. I don't want to open it too often. It wears out, Billy says. You know, Billy's bred her. She's going to have a colt. Maybe he might give the colt to me.
Did Billy say he would?
Well, not exactly.
Then how do you know he will?
I didn't say he will. I said maybe he will.
Maybe he ain't getting.
It cost him $25 just to breed her.
That colt would be worth at least $150. Do you think he'd give you $150?
No.
Well, then why do you think he'd give you a $150 colt? Yeah, what makes you think that?
Well, he might.
Mights ain't gettings.
Tom!
I'm just gonna get some wood.
That's more like it. You crossed him so last night there was hardly enough to get breakfast. What did you learn in school today?
A lot.
Well, that's good. There are other things to know besides ranching. If you bring another toad home in that lunchbox, you'll go to school without lunch.
Toad?
And not only toads. I don't want any living thing in that lunchbox. I have to boil it out every day when you get through with it. When you fill the wood box, feed the chickens.
So, you come to meet me, did you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, carry the rabbits. Yeah, take my gun. I should have been here yesterday. Got held up by an old fool, once started an argument. All the folks well?
They're fine, sir. I guess you got back just in time to go on a mouse hunt with me.
Mouse hunt? After people of this generation took to hunting mice? I know they aren't very strong, but I never thought mice would satisfy 'em for game. Maybe your father'd like to borrow my gun to shoot 'em with.
No, sir. It's just play. The haystack's gone, and I'm going to drive the mice out to the dogs tomorrow. You can watch and even beat the hay a little.
Oh, I see. You don't eat 'em, eh? You don't make clothes out of the pelts. I haven't come to that yet.
The dogs eat them, sir. I guess it isn't much like hunting Indians.
No, not much. But when the troops took to hunting Indians, killing the children, burning the teepees, that wasn't much different from your mouse hunt. They didn't give 'em a chance. Hey, you've grown, seems to me. You've grown.
More than 1/8 of an inch where they marked me on the door. I'm up 1/8 of an inch since you left.
I'll declare. There's your mother. Hi, Alice.
Hello, Dad. Tom, put up the horse, and then get to your chores.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm hungry. You know, Alice, I don't have as good appetite as I used to. When we was crossing the plains, we all used to get so hungry every night we'd eat up the buffalo meat before she got done. Where's the school teacher?
Fred'll be back for supper. And don't mention buffalo at supper. We're having macaroni tonight.
Is 13 miles from Castroville to Sotoville, Sotoville to Castroville, Castroville to Sotoville is 13 miles. From Castroville to Sotoville is 13 miles. From Castroville to Sotoville, Sotoville to Castroville, Castroville to Sotoville is 13 miles.
I'm hungry. Feel kind of like when we was crossing the plains. We used to get so hungry every night, couldn't hardly let the meat get done. I could eat 5 pounds of buffalo every night. Everybody could. Sit down, Alice. Grub's fine.
Moving around does it, I guess. My father was a government packer. Used to help him when I was a kid. The 2 of us could just about clear up a deer hand.
I knew your father, Billy. Good man. Used to call him Mule-Tail Buck. Never did know why, except he packed mules. You ought to know if he had a tail, Billy.
No, that's why they call him that, because he packed mules.
I remember one time we run out of meat. Thank you, Alice. There was no buffalo, no deer, no antelope, not even rabbits. Hunters couldn't even shoot a coyote. Thank you, Alice. That was the time for the leader to be on the watch. I was the leader. Kept my eyes open then. You know why? Well, I'll tell you why. Just a minute, the people will begin to get hungry. They'd up and slaughter their team oxen. Do you believe that? The leader of the party had to keep him from doing that. And I was the leader.
You better eat. The rest of us are about ready for our pudding.
Well, I'm a little hungry at that. Yep, I was the leader. I'll tell you some interesting things later. I wonder, did I tell you about the time the Paiutes drove off the 35 horses of ours?
I kind of think you did. Wasn't it just before you got up to the Tahoe country?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, I guess I did tell you. Well, anyway,
You told it hundreds of times. Of course, we'd like to hear it again.
How about the Indians and the horses?
I want to see you after supper.
did I ever tell you how I wanted the wagons to carry along iron plates?
No, you didn't, Grandfather. What did you want to use the iron plates for?
Well, you see, when the Indians attack, we always put the wagons in a circle. I figured that if we put iron plates down to get behind...
Well, Mr. Big Britches, are you coming?
And now, if those plates had holes in them, the men could stand them in front of the wheels, and they'd be protected.
Well, I guess I better go. They might need me. I've got an old powder horn and a cap and ball pistol out in the bunkhouse. Ever show them to you?
That reminds me of a pistol I had when I was leading the people across. It was whatever happened to that pistol?
Maybe you'd better tell it when you go down to the bunkhouse. Billy has to go.
Thank you, ma'am. Good night.
Mine?
Yours. He needs a good currying. And if I ever hear of you not feeding him or leaving his stall dirty, I'll sell him off in a minute.
Well, I guess he can bite all right.
And no more Indians, Mr. Big Britches.
Mine?
Sure. That is, if you look out for him and break him right, like your father said. Of course, he's pretty young. He couldn't bear your weight for some time.
But you'll tell me what to do, won't you, Billy? Grandpa says you know everything about horses.
I'm half horse myself. You know, my ma died when I was born. Being my old man didn't have any cows around, why, he mostly gave me mare's milk. I'm half horse, and horses know it. Don't you, little fella? You do like I tell you, you'll have the best horse in the country.
When do you think I can ride him?
Well, you're not very heavy around, say, Thanksgiving, maybe?
There isn't a saddle?
Ooh, I forgot. Come on. Of course, it's just a show saddle. It's not practical for the brush. It was cheap at the sale.
Show saddle? From a circus?
Well, I guess you could call it kind of a circus show.
It'll look pretty on him. If he hasn't a name already, I think I'll call him Gavilan Mountains.
That's a little bit long for a calling name. Why don't you just call him Gavilan? That means hawk.
That'd be a good name.
You know, if you'll collect tail hairs, I might find time to make you a hair rope. You use it for a hackamore.
Oh, sure. I'd train him for a hackamore. You wouldn't use a bit on a good horse like this. Could I lead him to school, do you think, to show the kids?
What are you talking about? That pony isn't even hauled or broke yet. Almost had to drag him here.
I could bring the kids to see him here. It would be even better if they saw him here.
Been friends for a long time. Maybe you want me to help you with him.
Well, sometimes you can, but it's not a good thing to have too many people fooling around a horse. It's liable to get him all mixed up.
I wouldn't fool around him. Let me curry him a little.
He's been curried. I curried all that out of him this morning. Look out for his heels. He can kick and he can bite. He doesn't look like a mean one. Oh, he isn't mean. He's just got a lot of spirit. Why, when he drank this morning, he buried his nose clear up to the nostrils in the water trough.
That's a good horse that does that.
You're gonna brush the hide right off him.
It's just a little place I missed.
Why don't you braid his mane and tail?
Well, I will sometime. Some other time.
What are you doing out here so early?
Well, I couldn't sleep anymore. You've got to tell me what to do. This pony's growing up. I've got to teach him now or it'll be too late.
Well, I've got my chores to do first. He'll be too old by then?
All right, Billy. I'll wait if you say to wait.
Now, the first thing is to hauler break it. That's hardest because it's first. We'll put the short hauler on it.
What'll I do?
Did you bring the carrot? That's fine. Now, you coax him with the carrot and pull on the lead. He'll get the idea. Keep talking to him. He'll get the idea. Patience is the big thing. We don't want to force break it. That takes out the spirit. You know, a horse has got to understand, same as a man's got to understand. Let's get started. Morning, man.
Good morning. Tom must have slept in the barn last night.
He might as well have.
Come on, Gavilan. Come on, Gavilan. Come on, Gavilan.
Please, Gavilan.
Come on. See, I got a carrot for you. Come on. Please. Look, Gavilan. See?
Breakfast will be ready soon, Billy. Fred, you'll burn your hands again. Sit down, I'll do it.
Alice, I thought I'd take a little time each day to show Tom some things about the pony. Well, I gave it to him. I thought I should be the one to.
We got started breaking Gavilan today. Grandpa says nobody knows more about horses than Billy. Do they, Billy? Grandpa says that Billy can talk to horses. He says they can understand him. I don't know how.
Billy has enough chores to do. He has no time to go play with you.
It won't take much of Billy's time. He's got to learn. He might as well learn right. Sit down, Billy.
Grandpa says...
Where is Grandpa, anyway? He's keeping everybody waiting for breakfast.
He's still up in his room.
It'll be a good half hour fussing.
Well, he likes to take his time. You know how he polishes up his shoes and brushes off his clothes. I don't know. He likes it that way.
Of course, a man who led a wagon train across the plains, he's too great a man to care how long he keeps his daughter at the stove. He has to be very careful how he looks because he led a wagon train across the plains.
Don't do that, Fred. Please don't talk that way.
Well, how many times do I have to listen to that story of the 35 horses, the iron plates? I've heard him tell how he led that bunch of people across the plains 1,000 times. That time's done. Why can't he forget it now it's done? Why does he have to tell about it over and over? He came across the plains. All right, now it's finished. Nobody wants to hear about it over and over and over.
Morning.
Did you hear what I said? I don't know what got into me, sir. I didn't mean it. I was just trying to be funny, I guess.
Oh, I'm just trying to get right side up, huh? I'm not being mad. I don't mind what you said. Well, it might be true.
Oh, I wouldn't mind that.
It's not true. I'm sorry I said any of it.
No, don't be sorry. Old man just don't see things sometimes. Maybe you're right. Crossing's finished. Maybe it ought to be forgotten now it's done.
I'm going to work. You take your time, Billy.
Excuse me, man.
Won't you tell any more stories now, Grandfather?
Eh? Of course I will. I'll tell them. But only when I'm certain people want to hear them. That's the trouble. I never made sure.
I like to hear them, sir.
Of course you do, but you're a little boy. It was a job for men. Now only little boys want to hear about it.
Now that you're back, you ought to come on a mouse hunt with me. I'll wait outside for you, sir. You can use my stick for those mice. I'll go make another one. May I, ma'am?
Father?
I better not keep the boy waiting. It's gonna be hard staying here, feeling like I do. As though the crossing wasn't worth doing.
If you'd like to tell a story, Grandpa, I'll listen.
Oh, I tell those stories, but they aren't what I want to tell. I know how I want people to feel when I tell them. It wasn't the Indians that was important, their adventures, and the land. It wasn't even getting out here. It was a whole bunch of people made into one big, crawling beast. It was Western and Western. Where every man there wanted something for himself, but the big beast that was all of them wanted only Western. We carried life out here, set it down and planted it the way ants carry eggs, and I was the leader. The Western was big as God, and the slow steps that made up the movement piled up and piled up until the continent was crossed. Then we come down to the sea and it was done. That's what I ought to be telling instead of the stories. Stories ain't what I want to say.
Maybe I could lead the people someday.
No, there's no place to go. There's an ocean to stop you. And there's a line of old men along the shore hating the ocean because that stopped them.
In boats I might, sir.
No, Thomas, there's no place to go. Every place is taken. Now, that isn't the worst. No, that isn't the worst. Western has died out of the people. Western isn't a hunger anymore. It's finished. Your father's right. It's all done.
If you would like a glass of lemonade, I could make it for you.
No, I don't. Yes, it would be nice to drink a glass of lemonade. Would be nice.
Oh, Billy! Billy!
I don't like lemonade anyway.
I've been thinking about that homecoming week, Alice. I would like for us to go to San Jose. We could catch the afternoon train.
Homecoming won't be for another week.
Well, we could visit my folks, look around a bit. You could do some shopping. What's the matter?
Don't run away, Fred.
I'm not running away.
In your mind, you are. In your mind, you've been running back to San Jose ever since we've been ranching here.
Alice, I didn't mean what I said about your father.
I know it's not Father. Fred, you're hurt. You're hurt because you feel people here look upon you as a stranger.
Well, they do. I don't suppose there's a man in this whole county knows my first name. It's Mr. Tiflin this, Mr. Tiflin that, never Fred. Everywhere I go, it's Mr. Tiflin. After all these years, I'm still a stranger.
That's true. But are you sure it isn't the way you want it?
Do I want to be a stranger to my own son?
Are you?
I think so.
Maybe you should go to San Jose. Maybe you can think things out clearer there.
You mean you won't come?
No. Someone has to watch things.
Maybe you're right. Maybe I'd better go alone.
Get a whip and he'll follow. Pull his tail.
Push him!
Light a fire under him.
Wait till I get a stick. I'll make him move.
Tom, come in.
Your dad's calling. I'll take him around for you till you get back.
No, I told you before, too many people fooling around the horse get him mixed up. You can open the gate for me.
I'm going up to San Jose.
You going too, ma'am?
No, Tom, I'm staying. I'm taking your father to the train.
See that you don't let the pony get in the way of your chores or your school leader. If you do, I'll have to take you in hand when I get back.
Yes, sir.
don't sound quite right, Alice. Sounds thin.
It is.
Seems to me you and Fred used to play that four-handed, didn't you? Oh, it was louder that way.
Grandfather, sir, how do you spell chrysanthemum?
Not a nice flower.
What is?
Chrysanthemum?
I know it is, but how do you spell it?
Your father's the one who ought to help you with your lessons.
When is Father coming home, ma'am?
Soon.
How do you spell chrysanthemum?
Chrysanthem.
C-H-R-R...
Don't you think you ought to learn to use a dictionary instead of asking people questions?
Father says it's good to ask questions. I never used a dictionary when he was home.
You're tired. Go to bed.
Must I, ma'am?
Do you want to do more lessons?
Good night, ma'am.
Really, Father?
You're right, Alice. You're right. Here I am nearing the end of my life, and there's nothing I do and nothing I have done that I don't know could be done better. But I don't do anything about it. Alice, how did you spell chrysanthemum?
Why don't you go out and sit with Billy?
Good night, ma'am.
Grandfather, sir,
What do you want?
I'm going to work gabalan for Billy in the morning. Would you like to come and see?
What for?
Well, nobody's seen me work him on the long halter yet.
Oh, yes, I see. Sure, I'll come down. Just let me know. I'll come down.
Grandfather, get up.
Huh?
Get up, Grandfather.
What are you whispering about?
Shh, you'll wake up Mother.
What time is it?
Going on 6.
Don't look like 6.
Well, it's 10 minutes after 5.
5? You get out of here before I shoot you.
You promised. I'm going to wake Billy up.
All right, bring him along, Tom.
Don't open the door, Billy. I want to show you something. Go on, Gabalan. I taught him to do that.
You did a good job. I don't know about that door opening, though. Might get out sometime when you want him in. He's a smart pony. All right, let's see how far you've gone with that long shank.
Whoa! Come on, Gabalan. Get up! Go on, trot!
that's good.
He likes it. You can tell he likes it. See how the ears are forward? When he's mad, his ears stick back. And when he's scared, his ears are out sideways. You can tell just how he feels about everything by the way his ears are. Even when he's mad.
You're learning, aren't you, Tom?
Sometimes he laughs. He just sits back and laughs. When he bit me on the seat of the pants, he laughed. And when he stamped on my foot, he laughed.
Well, you're getting him pretty well under control. He's awful good on that long line.
He's almost too good. Getting to be almost like a trick pony. I don't like trick horses. Takes all the dignity out of a horse, make him do tricks. Gets to be almost like a actor. No dignity. No character of his own.
You've got to teach him control. That's not a trick.
That looks like tricks to me. Hadn't you better be getting him used to the saddle pretty soon?
Can I saddle him up now?
You better hurry. Your mother's already rung for breakfast.
When's Mr. Tiflin coming back?
Oh, I don't know. There, now, I see that. Yeah. Hey, you didn't cinch that tight enough.
It was good and tight. I put my hand under it, and it was good and tight.
Yeah, looks like he learned more than you have. He took a good, deep breath while you were cinching him, and just as soon as you stopped, he just let her out. You gotta at least be as smart as the horse, you know.
That's right.
When you gonna ride him, Thomas?
Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving morning. Stopped raining.
Yeah.
Maybe I better let Gavilan out into the corral before I go to school.
Tom,
I guess I forgot it, ma'am.
if you forget it once more, I'll let you go without it. Don't let him near that pony, Billy. He'll be late for school again.
Yes, ma'am. Let him out for you, Tom. It'll be good for him.
What if it comes on to rain?
It's not likely to rain anymore today. It's rained itself out. Comes on to rain, a little rain won't hurt a horse.
Well, if it does come on to rain, you'll put him in, won't you, Billy? I'm scared he might get a cold. And Thanksgiving's only a week off.
Oh, sure, I'll watch out for him. But it won't rain anymore today.
But, Billy...
Oh, go on to school. You'll be late.
I told you it's not going to rain.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thomas Tiflin. Thomas, do you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
You're half asleep.
Yes, ma'am.
You don't hear me even now.
I do, ma'am.
Well, then answer me when I speak to you. Now go to the board and add those figures.
Yes, ma'am. you put him in.
I did put him in.
Well, he was out.
I did put him in.
You said it wouldn't rain.
It's hard to tell this time of the year. You can't always tell exactly.
You said it wouldn't rain. He got soaked through.
Oh, a little rain never hurt a horse. Well, they don't look too chipper. She's got a little fever, so we'll get that out of him. You run in the house and get a kettle of hot water. I'll give him some warm mash. We'll rub him down and blanket him, and he'll be all right in the morning. Well, go on.
What are you doing home so early?
I was worried about the pony.
You cut school? Where's your lunch pail?
I left it.
What will your father say when he finds out you played hooky because you were afraid the pony might get wet? How do you think you'll ever learn anything if you do things like that? You're getting too thoughtless. Maybe a little punishment will help you learn. Maybe you better not ride that pony for another month. Maybe then you won't cut school just because you worry a little bit.
Where's that kettle of hot water, Tom? Well, the pony got out somewhere and got wet, man. I thought I'd make him up some hot mash.
A horse isn't a lapdog, Billy. Don't you think you're coddling that pony too much?
Well, he's got kind of a cough, Mrs. Tiflin.
Suppose he has. You know what to do.
Yes, ma'am.
You better sit down here, young man. You haven't been paying any attention to school lately. I think it's time we checked up on you. I'd like to hear you read.
The elephant is the largest animal we see in the jungle. His home is in the jungle. His home is in India. And there he is used for many kinds of work.
Why don't you put him to bed?
I did. What do you think you're doing? I sent you to bed hours ago.
Billy's gonna steam the pony. He's awful sick.
You'll be sick yourself if you don't quit hopping in and out of bed like this. Put that kettle back where you got it. Your mother told you Billy can take care of your pony.
Tom. Run along. Take care of your pony.
I'm glad you did that, Alice. The boy's right to take care of his own horse.
Good evening, Alice.
Good evening.
San Jose. 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll be 35 cents, please.
Alice. I caught the first train out after I got your wire.
Fred, I had to send for you. Tom's pony's very sick, and if Billy can't get him well, I thought it would help if you were here.
Morning, Mr. Tiflin. Hello, Alice.
If anything happens, we can always get him another horse.
Don't you remember your first pony?
I never had a pony.
Tom will be glad to see you.
I've missed him.
We expected you home sooner.
I spoke to my brother Dean. His business is humming. He asked me to come in with him. Tom know you sent for me?
No, I didn't think it wise to tell him.
He's guessed why I'm here.
Yes.
Hello, Dad.
Hello, son.
Want me to do the chores?
No. Better see to your horse. I think Billy needs your help. I should have fixed this fence before I left.
Is he gonna get well?
Feel that? When that lump gets bigger, I'll open it, and then he'll be better.
What's the matter with him?
Strangles.
Strangled.
Don't you worry about that. I'll pull him out of that. I've seen horses get well when they were worse than this.
How is he?
Oh, pretty good. I'm gonna open up that lump, and then he'll be better. Now he'll feel better. The poison makes him awful sick.
He's still awful sick.
Yes, he is. But I've had worse ones get well. I'll pull him through.
I know you will, Billy. If you say you will.
You stay with him. I've got something to do. I'll be right back.
Who is it?
It's me, Billy.
Well, come in then.
It's a nice collection you got there, sir.
Oh, yeah. See that in there? You know what that dirt is? Blood.
What kind of blood?
Well, that... Well, I don't want to talk about it. What do you want? Sit down. No, not there. In the camps, Billy, the one thing a man daren't do is sit on another man's bed. That was the thing that was almost like holy. Sit over there. No, leave her where she is.
I kind of like to talk. It's about the pony, ma'am. I did put that pony in the barn that day when it was raining. It got out somehow. I don't know exactly how.
Well?
Well, Tom, he doesn't believe I put that pony in.
What difference does that make? Whether he believes it or not, if you did.
Well, I just don't like him not believing it. The pony's bad. I just opened that lump.
Strangles, isn't it?
Yeah. Getting so he can't hardly breathe.
Well, you steamed him, and you opened the lump. Now, if he gets any worse, there's only one thing else. You'll have to make a hole in his windpipe so he can breathe.
Yeah, I know.
Did you ever do it?
Yeah, a couple times.
Well, that's all you can do. When do you think you'll have to?
Well, I thought I'd wait till tomorrow. He might get better. I wouldn't have to do it, maybe.
If you have to, that's everything you can do.
Then either he gets well or he don't get well. It's out of your hands.
Thank you. See, I know that. I just wanted to know if somebody else knew it.
Billy's not himself. He's not a man to be in doubt.
Well, he's finding out that there's some things even he can't do. Well, fix that chair.
He's worse. He can hardly breathe.
There's only one thing left to do, Tom. Something you won't want to see.
You're not going to shoot him.
No. No, I'm going to make a little hole in his windpipe and put this tube through it so he can breathe.
You sure you got to do it?
I'm sure. You can help me if it won't make you sick, that is.
I'll help.
All right, you run along to the barn. I'll be right there. Where have you been?
He's worse, isn't he, Billy?
He'll be all right.
You couldn't wait a little while? Can't you wait just a little while?
What for? Better to do it right now. Now I know where you've been.
He's worse.
Yes, sir. Like I told you, there's only one thing left.
When did you?
Oh, Billy come to see me yesterday. Now, anytime you're ready, Billy. Well, Billy's right, son. We gotta do it.
You still want to stay?
Yes.
Hand me the razor, Tom. Sterilize that knife. Now wash that tube off.
Beautiful bird, Alice. Sit down.
Come in, Billy. Sit down.
Oh, hello, Billy. How is he? Gonna die?
Well, it doesn't look like there's much chance. Of course, there is a chance.
Don't you think we ought to get Tom out of there? You think we ought to let him stay around and see it?
I don't know. But we can't protect him. I was wondering about it myself. What's good to see and not to see, and think and not to think. And it kind of seems to me it's better to see everything and think everything.
Sure. You can't know life unless you see death. It's all part of one thing. We can't protect him from it. It's all part of one thing. Might as well learn about it now.
Ride him, aren't you?
Yes? Yes, I am.
Well, let's have a look at him. Come on, gang.
No.
Well, why not? We came all the way over to look at him.
Well, you see, we took him into town to get shod.
When did you?
Well, he isn't back yet.
Oh. I'll bet your father sold him.
He did not. That pony is down getting shoes.
I'll bet he sold him.
You get on off the place. I don't want you here. Go on now. Get off here. I won't have anyone calling me a liar.
I don't know what's the matter with you. I don't know what you gotta get so mad about. Let's get out of here. Come on.
didn't kill your pony. Don't you know that?
Of course he knows it. Use your head, man. Can't you see how he'd feel about it? I know how it is. Are you hurt? You know, Tom, I'm gonna give you Rosie's colt. She ought to have a good colt. It'll be a big horse, you know. Stud's a thoroughbred. Used to race some. Pretty good, too. Oh, it ought to be a good colt. Now, the best thing about getting a colt so young is you can just grow up with it and you... Pony's dead.
Tom. He let him die.
Get you another pony?
I don't want another pony.
You mean you don't want another pony?
I could have a horse if I want.
How?
Billy Buck will give me his new colt if I want it. But I don't.
Are you gonna start that again? Billy Buck's only gonna give him his own colt. He's only gonna give him a colt worth $100. I bet Billy Buck's gonna give him a railroad train.
Sure, Billy Buck's gonna give him a whole circus, but he don't want it.
He's getting to be an awful liar. He's getting to be a terrible liar. Come on, kids.
Go away, Rosie. Come on, Rosie. Go on home, Rosie.
Hello, Tom.
I want Rosie's colt.
I told you you could have it.
I mean, I really want it.
All right.
And I want to be there when it gets born.
No reason why you shouldn't be.
Billy doing calling his mare in the middle of the night?
I don't know. Rosie must be about ready. I thought I'd go down and see. Oh, Alice, now that I'm up, I wouldn't mind a cup of coffee.
I'll make some.
Well, is she ready, Billy?
Yes.
You got out just about in time, didn't you?
I had a dream. A dream the colt was turned wrong.
Well, you don't believe in dreams, do you, Billy?
No, but my father believed in them. You know, he dreamed one time his horse slipped and fell over a cliff with him, and it did. Next day. Killed him.
Hmm. Oh, what's that for?
Got to get that boy a colt.
You wouldn't kill your mare to get the colt, would you?
Got to get that boy a colt.
You'd be crazy. You got a good mare there. You don't know what kind of colt it'll be.
Got to get that boy a colt.
Now, I think you're crazy, but suit yourself. It's your mare.
What are you doing here?
You said you'd call me.
I said I'd call you, and I will when the time comes.
Is she all right, do you think?
Oh, sure, I think so.
You won't let anything happen, Billy, will you?
Will you get back to bed and stop worrying this mare? She's got enough to do without you worrying her.
But I only thought I'd come and see. I waked up.
Now you get back to bed. I don't want you bothering. Said I'd get you a good colt, and I will. Now you run along. I'll take care of everything.
But the pony died.
Coffee ready?
In a minute. What's the matter? Anything wrong?
Billy says...
Oh, Fred. Sorry we woke you. There was no need for you to get up.
Billy says after what happened to that pony, he just got to get the boy a colt, even if he has to kill the mare.
He shouldn't do that.
Well, Billy feels that he and Tom been pulling in different directions. He's right. You can't get anywhere that way. 1, 2. I remember when I was leading the people across. 3. There was a whole big bunch of them wanted to go to the south. Now the rest of them wanted to go to the north. Well, I soon straightened that out. Donner Party broke up the same way. Now those that went to the south, they got through. Those that went to the north, they just ate each other up. That's good coffee, Alice. I'll drink that in my room.
I hope Tom gets his colt without any trouble. It's time things got straightened out around here. High time.
Suppose you're anxious to get to San Jose.
No, Alice, I'm home. I'm staying home.
Are you sure you're home?
Yes. I thought things over in San Jose, and I've thought them over since I got back here. It isn't where you are that makes you a stranger. It's where you think you're a stranger that makes you one. I was a stranger in San Jose.
Welcome home, Fred.
Leave me alone!
I'll get that knife if I have to shake your brains out.
Rosie! I won't give you the knife!
Billy! He took my knife.
You want to kill
I
Rosie?
may need it for my mare.
He wants to kill Rosie! Don't let him! Stop him! Stop him! Don't let him! Stop him!
Come back here!